Hey guys, welcome back to Starcastic Arts alongside my brother James. My name is Ryan. We are the official Dallas Stars podcast of THPN. Go and use that promo code THPN next time you go and use DraftKings Sportsbook. Thank you to DraftKings Sportsbook for being our sponsor. We have a lot to talk about tonight, but to be honest with you, we're going to keep it kind of brief because tonight was kind of rough. And the Stars do lose by a final score of 4-3 tonight to the Predators, excuse me. And for the first time this season and for the first time in a while, the Stars have dropped 3 in a row to begin the calendar year of 2024. So, James,
well, technically, Ryan, the stat is losing 3 in regulation. So
okay,
we lost in overtime and won, but
we've lost
for the first
games.
time this season. We have lost 3 games in a row.
Okay, so what initial thoughts? Tell me what you're thinking right now.
Yeah, that was rough. Man, watching this team without Miro Heiskanen you're watching a completely different team. We've talked about this before. I mean, the team does not move the same. The passes are not as crisp. Everything doesn't flow the same. Tough when one of the top leaders in time on ice in the entire league is out of your lineup, and you have to fill that somehow. And you have to fill that with Nils Lundqvist and Joel Hanley. Like that's rough. And I expected it to be, and I was like, maybe we could steal one tonight, but no, we can't.
Let us know your comments down in the comment section below, and we'll try to get to some of those towards the end of the episode today. So let's just kind of go through the periods, period by period, because we'll talk about the periods, and then we'll discuss some storylines for tonight. The first period, it was slop. I think is what I heard Owen Newkirk and Bruce Levine talk about on the radio broadcast. I like listening to the intermission from them because they go through the period almost play by play. It's pretty cool actually. But seriously, it was complete slop in the first period. Is that a fair assessment, James? What do you think?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, no passes were connecting. We were giving up some bad turnovers. Honestly, we were pretty lucky to escape that period down 1.
Well, and the Nashville Predators did not turn over the puck very much in the first period. The Stars did, and it leads to a 1-0 lead for Nashville after the first period. The second period was probably the Stars' best period. It was by far their best period. They were able to outscore the Nashville Predators in the second period. They looked pretty good. The passes were starting to connect a little bit more. But what I want to talk about with the second period is the fact that the first period was bad. And this continues to kind of be a trend for the Dallas Stars, and the fact that they're not very good in the first period, and they have not been for the past month and a half or 2 months.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not fully concerned about it because I don't think that's the reason we lose tonight. I don't think it's the reason we lose most nights. We're slow in the first period, and it doesn't help when you're missing Miro Heiskanen and you have Scott Wedgwood in for the 10th or 11th straight. It's tough to. I mean, the team was playing very, very hard without Otter in net, and that was pretty apparent by the sudden increase in goal scoring that we had, and we were just outscoring everything, and Wedgwood would let in 3 a game, and it was fine because we were scoring 4 a game. And now Wedgwood's letting in 4 a game, and we're only scoring 3 a game, or we're scoring 4 a game and still losing. But it's just run out. Like we just don't have enough to get over the hump at the end of 3 straight now. I mean, all 3 of those games. I mean, you're talking about inches from winning the game, or at very least tying it. And just on the other side, it seems like every good chance they get goes in the back of your net. I mean, no, that's all I'm going to say for now. I'll hold it. I'll let you talk for a little.
Okay. Well, let's get into the third period a little bit too. Third period was not all that great either. They let their foot off the gas a little bit. I know some of them were tired because they're playing more minutes than they're probably used to, with especially with Joel Hanley and obviously Harley, who is the leader in time on ice tonight. We'll get into that in a second. But I mean, what was the deal with the third period? Was it just it all of a sudden became transition hockey and we weren't covering people like we should have been? What's the deal here?
I mean, I honestly thought it was pretty slow from both sides. I don't have the shot totals in front of me, but like it couldn't have been that high. It was pretty slow from the get go from both teams. It was just both sides is whoever makes the turnover in that type of a game is it's going to end up costing them. And unfortunately, when you have Hanley and Lundqvist and Suter all on the same D, whatever you want to call it, it's a recipe for disaster, and it definitely felt like it tonight. I mean, we got trapped in our zone multiple times, and we just couldn't make the pass out, just never.
And with the last 3 games, I haven't felt like the Stars have been out of the game, but they just haven't done enough to deserve to win.
And I don't think that's true, because in 2 of those games, we only gave up 20 shots and the opponent scored 4 goals both times. So I don't know what more you are supposed to do when you only give up 20 shots against and 4 of them are going in the back of your net. I mean,
yeah, but it's not always the amount of shots, James, but it's the quality of those shots and those chances.
But we have more quality chances on our shots and the other team is saving them. It doesn't matter if you get more chances or less chances. It only matters if you save it or not. And right now, we aren't getting saves on quality chances. And that's because he's tired, yes, but it's not working. And it's happened 3 games straight now. And it feels like every chance they get, they're putting it in the back of the net.
And on the flip side, the Stars are not putting it in the back of the net. And sorry,
which is
James,
crazy because we've got 3 a game in all of these,
yeah.
And it's still not enough. Like, we are putting it in the back of the net, and we feel like we should be scoring 5 or 6 even. Like,
yep. And one of the things is specifically Johnston tonight had an opportunity, was not able to put it away.
2 games in a row, he's had opportunities like that and hasn't scored.
And Sagan scored a goal tonight, but he also had some opportunities and was not able to put it away. Pavelski had, I don't think he had multiple ones, but there's one that I'm thinking of off the top of my head.
Robertson, too.
Robertson
had
scored
many chances, and only scoring 1 was pretty tough.
So it's a mixture of things tonight, and I'm not feeling great about this, to be totally honest with you, because the Stars are in their first big skid of the season. They really are. They've
I'm worried about it, but I'm only worried because of the players who are out. I mean, 2 of our top 5 players are out. Without a doubt, our top 5 players I would consider to be our top line, even though, I mean, they've kind of taken a step back. And then you have Miro, and then you have Otter. And 2 of those people are out. They're both on defense, and we're getting scored on 4 times a night. Like, that's what it comes down to. When you can consistently score 3 goals a night, that should be enough to bare minimum win half your games. And it's not working anymore. You're wrong, because only a couple of teams in the league on average score 3 goals a night. That is not normal. There are like 5 or 6 teams in the league who are averaging over 3 goals a night, and the Stars are one of them.
I really think the new 2 is 3. It used to be a 3-2 league, and the fact that most games would be seen as 3-2. I think most of the games nowadays are going to be 4-3, and it's frustrating to be on the opposite side for the last 3 games, and especially that first one against Montreal. We really felt like we should have won that game, but again, Montembeault stood on his head. Lankinen was good tonight, by the way. He was very good for his squad. And then just the craziness of the game against Colorado, a really good team, you can never count them out. So it's just frustrating to.
It's only frustrating because the other team has had the better goalie in the last like 6 games we've played. And I don't think that's unfair to say. Maybe not the Blackhawks, the 8-1 Blackhawks win, but like you look at all the last 3 losses we had, and then before that we played the Blackhawks and won 5-4, and then we lost to the Blues 2-1, and we beat the Predators 3-2. It's like we are barely winning these games, and it feels like it's more in spite of the goaltending than because of the goaltending. Hi, Chris.
Hi, and I'm glad to join right when James was talking about that, because boy, that was some terrible goaltending.
It's not just one game anymore.
The past 3 games have been pretty rough by Wedgwood. And honestly, it's been the past month. I mean, we saw a stat. We were watching a Buffalo Wild Wings. That's why I'm late. Sorry, boys. But we saw a stat on the Predators broadcast. The Stars have had the best offense in the league since December 11th. That's why
Otter went out.
That's when Otter went out. And we were trying to cover for Wedgie. The offense has dried up. Sure, you can blame that. You can blame us not having the best offense. But 2 of these 4 goals were atrocious. Like, can't ever go in.
Like, which ones? Which ones are you specifically talking
The
about?
wraparound should never go in.
The wraparound should never go in. Not in any world. The 2-on-1, he got beat short side by a guy who has no shot. The shot was not hard. It was not placed well, and it still went in.
I agree with you on the first one, not the second one.
You can't get beat short side. He's cheating again on an odd man rush. And it was defended well. He took away the cross crease pass, and he got beat short side. You can't get beat short side.
And that was one of 2 odd man rushes the whole night. I mean, we gave them nothing on odd man rushes all night long. That was obviously the game plan. I mean, we were playing very passively to start the game. We knew that we were going to have a hard time with turning pucks over in our own end without Miro on the ice. And we played like it, honestly. The first period, I really think that's why we played so sluggishly. It's frustrating that whatever. I don't want to talk about it. It's just been boiling for 3 games now because we were like, oh, the Montreal game. Oh, he lets in 4. He finally had a bad game. And then it's again. And then it's again.
Yeah, 3 times in a row.
And then you look back at the run that he had, and it's like he did it the entire time. He had like 2 games.
He had 2 really good games.
Really solid.
Great games.
And he won those games for us. But the rest are all 1-goal games, and over half of them are comebacks.
Yep.
Okay, so before I get into that, I do want to say something about the 2-on-1. The 2-on-1, it's Luke Evangelista. He has a very good shot. He is a very good forward for the Nashville Predators. He's a young guy. He's a rookie, so he's very good, and that's fine. He has a good shot. The thing that bugs me more than anything is what happened before that play, before it even got into our own zone. Do you know what happened?
Tell me.
It's Hakanpää. Hakanpää. And this goes into what you're talking about, James, with Miro, and that you have to know the situation of what you're in. Okay? You know that they're going to press a little bit more because your best defenseman is not on the ice. Hakanpää tries to pinch at the blue line, and it was a very, very ill-advised pinch. It's not like it was a 100% great play by Evangelista. It was not within his reach, and he decided to pinch at that, and it put Esa Lindell in a bad spot, and it put Wedgwood in a bad spot. When you know the situation of what's going on. Wedgwood is in his 11th game. He has played every single minute since Otter has been out, and he put his goaltender in a situation like that. You have to know the situation of the game.
He did it once the entire game.
Okay, and you know what?
The entire game is the problem.
And that is that's the thing. That is the thing. You can't make those kind of mistakes when you know your best defenseman is out. You have to be better. Just like you're saying, Wedgwood has to be better.
Fair excuses for Wedgwood, but you still have to say he sucked. He was still bad. Sure, he's played the last 11 games.
Yes.
Yeah, that's tough for him. He still didn't play good. He didn't play good enough to give us a chance to win.
This is kind of a good segue into how James is feeling. And what really sucks about all 3 of these games, it's not like these 3 games we were like blown out. and we had no
we didn't
chance.
play horrible. It's not like we didn't play great. We didn't play bad.
Exactly. We played good enough to win, and we lost all 3. And in the Montreal game, for example, we absolutely 100% deserved to win that game. And then we even had the deserve to win-o-meter game for the Colorado game. It's just we made stupid mistakes at stupid times. That's why I'm really frustrated with Yanni Hakanpää on that particular goal, because it was an individual mistake.
He had a great game. He really did. He was playing great defensively. He had to do a penalty kill by himself because Lindell took a dumb penalty. And he was coming back. He was breaking up stupid stuff in front of the net that our team was letting up. And one mistake is he has to be covered. At some point, you have to cover one of your defensemen. And it felt like we didn't get anything from Wedgwood tonight. There was not one save where I was like, oh, he shouldn't have gotten that one.
All the good chances the Preds got, they scored on. That's true.
Every single one. I mean, you can't do more defensively than they did tonight other than be the Stars of 3 years ago.
Yeah.
That's the only way you can be better.
Yeah, you can't play bones hockey, that's for sure. How many shots did the Preds actually end up with tonight? It was 21?
22. They had 22
shots and 4 goals.
And they had 19 shots when they had 4 goals.
You cannot watch the game, and that's bad. That's some pretty bad stats.
And okay, and I'm gonna pull this up too because I'm also frustrated about all of this. But at some point, you got to give him a rest. I know that we've talked about the fact that he doesn't trust Matt Murray, but at some point, you have to have your hand forced. He is digging Wedgwood into the ground, and it is causing the Stars to lose games.
That's true.
At this point, he is not able to make. He was okay tonight. Wedgwood was okay, but he still made some. He did not make some saves that we really needed. At this point,
any saves, Brian.
Well, at least give Matt Murray the chance
at this
to
point,
prove that he can do something.
At this point,
it's not like these. And at this point, it's not like these upcoming games that we have are against top teams in the NHL right now. Some of these games we're coming up on, they're not like top tier individual teams. It's not Vancouver. It's not Winnipeg. It's not any of these big teams. I mean, you got to give him a break. And this goes, and I know this is terrible to think about, but this goes back to when Pete DeBoer was the head coach of the Vegas Golden Knights, and he dug his, I don't remember which goalie it was. I think it was Thompson, into the ground. And you got to think that you got to give him a chance. Yeah. Otter's not ready yet. One more week and he will be ready, and then we can drag him through the mud and burn him into the ground. But you got to give Matt Murray a chance at this point. That's what I'm frustrated
about. The reason
about.
I agree with you now is because it's been 3 games in a row where we played good enough to win, and we're not given a chance by our goaltender, so it can't really get worse. I mean, I saw a lot of the comments saying Matt Murray's not good enough right now. I kind of tend to agree. You can't really get much worse right now, though. So Wedge was playing better at the beginning of him having to be the starter with Otter out. He's definitely being overworked now. That's true. He still sucked tonight, and you can't give too many excuses for him because it was really bad. The worst goaltending performance I think we've seen from a Star this year. But you got to give someone else a chance if he's gone 3 games in a row and couldn't give us a shot. So it's not going to hurt anything more, I feel like, to give Murray a chance. And it might. I mean, we might go the first period, we might give up 3 goals, we might put Wedgie back in. That's just the problem with the goalie depth on this team, I think. Without having a number 3, it's tough in the NHL now.
So the problem is if you put Matt Murray in, he is staying in there the whole game. It doesn't matter if he lets in 10, he is staying in the net. Because there is no point to put Wedgwood in when you're trying to rest him if Matt Murray has a not great game, which is likely to happen.
I agree with that as well. That's just what sucks. We're just in a bad spot. You start the season without a number 3 goalie. We knew that was true, and we're paying for it right now with 3 games in a row that we lose. I mean, that's really what it kind of feels like to me now. You're paying for a weakness on your roster.
Okay, let's save some of the other stuff for tomorrow night, because we are going to do an episode tomorrow night and dig. We have already dug deep in a little bit, but we'll get even more into it tomorrow night. I do want to kind of highlight a couple of positives here tonight. One of the things we obviously talked about with Miro being hurt was who was going to have to step up. I was completely wrong in my blog post. I'll just be honest right here. My blog post was completely wrong. It was halfway right. I put one little thing at the bottom, and most of it was about I thought Esa Lindell was going to have to take up the most ice time, and that wasn't the case. Thomas Harley was he's no Miro, obviously, and you can't replace Miro. Obviously, he's the number one guy in the NHL, one of the best defensemen in the NHL. But I thought he did a very good job in trying to bandage that hole that we're missing with Miro being out of the lineup. I thought he did pretty well.
Yeah, and I really thought a lot of guys stepped up too. Like it wasn't just Harley. I mean, Hanley played a decent game tonight. Still couldn't pass out of his zone, but we don't ask him to do that. He played good defensively. Lundqvist, most minutes that he's played this season, he played tonight. Suter was fantastic. I mean, his assist on the no goal was fantastic. He was super good. His pinches were really solid tonight. I thought his passing was way better than it has been. So I feel like all the defense stepped up really well tonight. And that's proven by the shot count. Only 22 shots on goal. That's pretty solid, I feel like. That should be enough to win, honestly.
And one of the things I was also going to get into tomorrow, and I'll slightly mention the question is, do we have to change the style we play with Miro being out? Is it really that big of a deal that maybe we have to play more defensive hockey and back off and really focus on the defensive side of the puck?
I think that's a good question for tomorrow.
Yes, agreed. James, you're frustrated.
If you can hold on to it.
Yeah. My only issue... Yeah, I'm just going to say the shots. Okay. My only issue is the shots in the Montreal game and then this game are all the way down and it still didn't matter. So that's all I'm going to say on it.
I'll give the last word here. For the third time, Stars win the deserve to win a meter. 75-25 for the Stars on this.
It's not even close.
Not even close.
They didn't have dangerous chances. They just go in every time.
Yeah, all four of their semi-dangerous chances did go in. So,
all right.
Sucks not having your starting goalie and your best defenseman.
Yes, that is true. Number one defenseman, number one goalie, and we still, according to the deserved win meter, 75%.
Which is the Lord.
Yes, which is the Lord and the science of all in hockey. No, I'm just kidding. Anyways, guys, biggest winner, biggest loser tonight. We'll wrap it up. We'll do more tomorrow.
Biggest loser is Scott Wedgwood. He played bad.
Biggest loser is Scott Wedgwood. He played bad.
I'm still upset about the Yanni Hakanpää pinch, so I'll give it to Hakanpää tonight. But that's me.
Blasphemy.
Biggest winner.
I'm gonna do this because I probably won't ever again. Biggest winner, Ryan Suter. I thought he played really good. I really did. I thought he played great. He should have had an amazing assist. That would have been a highlight reel assist right there. And it was called back for the long offsides.
40 seconds.
40 seconds after the offsides, and it doesn't count.
I'm standing behind the rule. I think it's a good rule. We were offsides. We shouldn't have been there.
Just review everything before the play even ends. Then
maybe
just take the refs off the ice and just have AI do it. Then
at least
now I feel like this is some sarcasm.
It isn't the name of the podcast, Chris.
It is frustrating to play almost a minute of hockey and all of it mean nothing.
Yeah, that's true.
James, who's your big
topic?
There's a lot of stuff we're going to talk about. Don't worry. James, biggest
winner, Thomas Harley. I thought he played really good. Defensively, he still had some miscues, but offensively, he was a monster tonight. I mean,
big step.
And he's the big reason why we score on the power play too. I mean, he finds the hole, which Miro probably would have shot it into someone's legs, to be honest. Let's be real.
Recently.
But he finds the hole and then hits it home. Another night where there's only 3 penalties all night long. That's weird.
Whatever.
Mm-hmm. I'll give mine. I'll give mine to Thomas Harley as well, because this was a very big game for him. Something I neglected to mention in the blog post I did was the fact that he was the number 1 defenseman in Texas last year. So it's not like he can't play a bunch of minutes. Yeah, it's a lot slower league than the NHL, but he's taken the next step. He's in the NHL now. He can absolutely be a minute muncher, at least for a little bit, until maybe we can find some way to spread out the minutes a little bit more evenly. But he was my biggest winner tonight.
Honorable mention to Jason Robertson. He had a pretty good bounce back game. He should have scored more.
That second line continues to be the best line for the Dallas Stars tonight.
I felt like Robo should have had like 3 tonight at least. That's the only reason why he's not the biggest winner, because he should have had more, even though he has a goal and an assist on the night. He should have had more.
All right, gentlemen. Anything else here tonight?
3 in a row feels bad.
I'll say the last word before we wrap it up. It really feels like these games are just going against us right now. There's just hockey gods right now. It really feels like it.
That's
and it feels worse because we don't have Otter and because we don't have Miro. That's why this feels a lot worse. Most of these games, it will turn the tide and it will go in our favor at some point. But we may need to be at the bottom of the ocean before we can rise back up to the top of the surface. I don't know. But you got to think that some of these games at some point are going to start turning in our favor. I really think that. And Wedgwood will start making saves, or maybe Murray gets in and he starts making saves, or something's going to happen that will be positive. Something will happen. So we'll see where it goes over the course of the next couple of games. It just really sucks that Miro's injury happens when there is a 12 games in 21 days, I think is what it was, including this one tonight. So he's going to be out for about 3 weeks is what I saw Uri Kralik, a friend of the show, kind of guesstimated it would be about 3 weeks, which is 12 games. All I can say is come back soon, please, Miro. This team looks very different without you, and it just feels different. That's a weird thing to say, but it's true. It just watching the game, it felt weird without him on the ice. So really quick, Joe Mama, refs are big losers again, ignored some blatant calls. Yeah, but they sort of kind of made up for it, but we'll get into that tomorrow night too. Okay. Anyways, anything else tonight, guys? No? Okay. Along with James, along with Chris, my name is Ryan. We'll catch you guys on the flip side. We will see you guys tomorrow night. It's been a while since we've done a weekly episode where we just kind of dive into some nitty-gritty stuff. Just been crazy when we decided to make that move to Sunday nights, but we will be doing that. And I hope you will join us tomorrow night at 7:00 Central Time. We will catch you guys on the flip side, and we hope you guys have a good, fantastic morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you guys are listening. We hope you guys have a good afternoon.